Hello, this is Andre with Flat Roof Pros. We are doing a roof inspection on this flat roof, and this is the steps that we take to perform a routine roof inspection on any roof, and pertaining not only to all flat roofs. First thing that we do is when we climb up, we look, make sure that the roof is safe. So we walk on the roof 2 feet at a time, 1 foot in front, to be performing a safe walk because there's a lot of bad plywood and there's a lot of issues that could be on the roof that we just need to make sure that we're safe and the owner is safe. Once you do that, then you start looking at the seams. Is there any standing water? Is there any debris on the roof? And so as you can see here, there's some really, I would say, pretty minor but still debris. Then we come to something like this. So we have pooling water is a very big indicator that something is bowing. And so immediately you see that here's a very high point, here's a very low point. Somebody misjudged this AC unit, HVAC unit, and didn't put it on the beam. So in this area, we're gonna perform a inspection of the seams with our hook. So this allows us to see how good is the condition of the seams. And I'm not pushing too far, too heavy, just far enough that I can get my hook into there. And there's a special angle that you have this at. And we're just gonna go along every seam because these are the patches that were done to prevent any water coming into this skirt and this tear right here. Not going through every seam, we're just randomly picking a seam and checking it out because we're not here to perform seam inspection, we're here to perform roof inspection. But randomly checking out different seams in the vicinity allows me to see the condition of the roof. If it's because it's being bowed down here, it's being stretched. So this seam is in high tension, and if my hook can get in there, then that could be bad. Okay, so right there, it's all good. And we're gonna also inspect this area too. And we see that this is a weld, pretty new patch that was welded. That shows me that this did not go too well, so they had to put some sort of caulking or some sort of sealant onto it. So all of this is fine. There's no issues that I could see with the seams, so that's good. The roof is, seams wise, is good. The installation was proper. The only thing that I would change differently is the type of plywood that they used, because as you can see, if you look out, you'll be able to see a lot of ponding water all around the different areas. That indicates that water is just standing there, but because of water pressure, it can't go anywhere because the plywood is not strong enough to support all that water pressure. We have heavy usage because right now we're above a restaurant, and this membrane is experiencing a lot of oils. Let's go look over here. They are not doing proper maintenance, so that's one of the things that we are gonna give them for this roof is a recommendation of a brand new cleaning service that we can actually do to maintain a nice clean surface of the roof. If you don't perform that, your roof will actually be degrading faster than what is the warranted lifespan. So we recommend every year to come out and at least clean your roof. So coping and edge metal are two different things that are on the roof. And so one of them is what covers a parapet wall, which is this is a wall that separates these two buildings. And coping sits on top, and we need to inspect the seams. So this is a folding standing seam, and we just need to look inside and see, is there any signs of water penetrating the top down? I don't see any of that. This is very sealed properly. We look and we mean to make sure that the membrane is over the edge, and if it is, then there shouldn't be any signs of concern. We need to look for drains on this roof. How do we do that? We look at the slope, the condition of the roof. Where does all the roof go to? Where does the water all go to? We have two forms of drainage on the roof. We have scuppers that are either on the wall or through wall. This is an on the wall scupper. And what you want to look here is, because all the water goes to this place, we need to make sure that the seams here are good. This is a cold weld. is another cold weld. So what does that mean? That means right now the seams are holding, but over the years, as more water gets here, it's going to start coming in here, and then it's going to be freezing, and it's going to be lifting this up, and over the years this will become a problem. So the seams needs to be looked at, sealed. The next thing I'm looking at is this is higher. This part of the roof is higher than this part. So there's going to be a lot of standing water here compared to here. So that if could be lowered, that'll be great. If not, this could be just a problem. That's why sealing these seams are very, very important, because water is standing here. And you can see that based on the watermarks. Lastly, what I'm looking at is if this gets filled up and water starts pouring out, because there's a high level debris on here, what is happening to the roof? Is it able to sustain a full water force? Well, if you look right here, you'll see that there's a little bit of a gap. And this gap is between this membrane and this edge metal. And you can actually see a little bit of plywood there. So that is very concerning. They sealed this off with caulking, but it's still, there's a hole there, right? So if this ever gets clogged, this will actually go into here, remove and damage the fascia, damage any other, maybe even start going down the wall, could be coming inside the building and damaging anything inside the building. So this is a sign of concern for us. Anytime you have places where your roof is being penetrated is a very high level of risk, because these usually fail the most. And so you're looking at this area, that this is very heavily caulked, so there's no hole for the water to actually go into the roof itself, right? So the other thing is these heated maybe water tanks or exhaust that are very hot. So they come with double shielded piping. And so the inside of this has a hot pipe that is protected by this outside layer, but this skirt is very important, and if it's not sealed properly, it'll start dripping behind here. We're going to look at this insulation right here. So this pipe has an insulation all the way on it, and then when you get to the actual roof penetration area, we need to see how is this insulation, see all that water here, is it helping or preventing it from getting into your roof, right? Because you want the insulation to be not part of the pipe that goes down. You want it to end before you put the crimp on. So that's what happened here, is that they kept the insulation on, and so this crimp is not doing anything, and so allows water to get down to this pipe and go down into the roof, and could be leaking on this pipe. But eventually it'll cause rot in this area or down below where it's dripping to. So eventually this is what you need to be looking for to present. The other thing is, you see this right here? That's a cold weld. So again, cold weld. This is failing because this probably was not installed originally. See this? And so this whole patch right here, this whole penetration needs to be worked at and looked at. As we're doing the cleaning, we're going to be able to clean this area and secure that down. This needs to be noted, how many times on the roof, especially of this size, how many times we need to perform these repair issues. Because every single one of those is a special critical attention needed moment, right? And especially in this area where you have a lot of the water coming to. The whole roof is sloped this way. This is where a lot of the water is going to be standing, and it's going to be needed to inspect this area. So this is a roof inspection, basically looking at as you walk in, where you're stepping, make sure the roof is safe for you. You're going to look at your edge metal, your coping. You're going to look at your drainage, where your water comes through, and then you're looking at problem areas, pooling water. Why is it pooling? Is there anything being clogged? Is there anything in the way? Right here we see a lot of pooling in water because there's a lot of heavy equipment. We need to inspect the heavy equipment. And the last thing is we need to inspect roof penetrations. We need to see where are those penetrations and are they in good condition. This is Andre again with Flat Roof Pros. Hope that helps.